proud of the way we played. I thought that I think Salle is so talented and a really good team that can score. And I thought that we played man-to-man defense the entire second half, and I wasn't sure we'd be able to play man-to-man for that long of a segment, but it turned out that it really helped us. Quan's defense was great. Grant had a tremendous second half. Thought we made some really, really big-time hustle plays, and the crowd was just tremendous tonight. A really significant home court advantage, and proud of our guys, and looking forward to Wednesday night's game at Duquesne.
Chris, I got B.J. Johnson maybe with one bucket in the last 9 minutes or so, and I guess Buckingham was as much responsible for that as anybody.
Yeah, DeMonte is a really good defender, and he likes a challenge. I think that the way LaSalle plays, they play at a nice even pace. They're never in a rush, and I think it really benefits guys who are great scorers like Johnson and Powell. They can kind of find their spots and pick their spots, and I think DeMonte really stepped up. Obviously, it's team defense, but I thought DeMonte really stepped up and played great down the stretch.
Coach, you start the game off 13-0 run, looking pretty good. They come right back, 16-4 run. Right before the half, you got the lead. They hit the three.
Yeah.
You're down by 10 in the third, but somehow, some way, you guys persevere. How do you feel about the way they have come along and being able to finish a game like this?
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. It was interesting the other night we were talking, and there weren't many runs in our game Wednesday night, and which is really unusual in college basketball. And tonight seemed drastic how many runs there were. But I'm proud of them. I think they have a better understanding. We went to the timeout down 10 in the second half, and they're calm, and they're intense and they're into the game, but they're calm. They're not. No one's hanging their head and thinking that we blew the opportunity with 12 minutes to go. So the maturity is definitely showing, and we need to continue to build upon it. But there is definitely much more maturity now with some experience under our belts.
And speaking of maturity, Coach, we were here early in the season. The team was struggling. The team was going through lows. Weren't winning, giving up leads, not making shots. Talk about just the maturity this team has to go from what they were to now being in the thick of things in this A-10 conference.
Well, yeah, a lot of it has to do with, I think, with the makeup and the character of the guys. It is really hard for young guys to just compete at the college basketball level because you have to work so hard on your body. You have to work so hard at all these things, learning all these new things, and then you come out in the first game and a team plays a zone you haven't seen, or you're playing against somebody that you didn't expect to play, or the coach asks you to play a different position. There's all these things that make it really challenging. And I think the character of the guys have been good. I think my assistant coaches and our staff have done a good job in terms of keeping everybody looking forward and positive. But it's a challenge, and we're still working our way through it. But it's good to see some results.
Mooney said that the mental toughness in basketball is defined by following your principles at crunch time. He said his team didn't do that. You feel like your team did?
Actually, I do. I do feel like that. Actually, there were a couple of plays there. A lot of these things are subtle and nuanced, but a couple of plays there that we made that are just really good reads if you're on offense, or decisions when you're on defense that we do practice, but you don't have a timeout to go over it before every possession. And I thought we did. I thought we got good shots. They were switching for the most part on their defense, and I thought we had some good slips to the basket and try to take advantage of, when teams switch, it's natural to just try to go to the mismatch. You know what I mean? And what we always talk about is the mismatch will show up. The ball movement for us is more important than that mismatch, and it'll show up. And I thought we did a good job of that today. And so that probably is a principle of ours, and I think it showed up for us today.
Coach, would that be principle AL or principle LE, you think?
I would say, I'm going to defer to my wife. LE? LE, yeah.
81 is a lot compared to several years ago, but it's really not that much this year. It seems like everybody's scoring more, Richmond included. Why is that?
Well,
Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't know about us, but I'd say across the board, yes, there's more scoring. Recently, we haven't. I would say this, John. I think the rules that they put in a few years ago have benefited the offense. And as a fan, I think that probably is better. I feel like Virginia's the one team that has figured out how to just not let you score. But with that charge circle is really far out there. I would have to bet there are 50% less charge attempts in a college game these days. That semicircle is just way out there, and it's hard to be in that kind of position without moving to take one. So you have more free plays at the basket or challenged plays at the basket, but there's not as much contact. And so I think it's good for the game. I think that's what makes the game, from a fan standpoint, more fun, seeing that fluid athleticism.
You hit the road now, but you've been on the road downtown and done well, obviously. How much does that help as you move forward to Pittsburgh and Davis?
What helps, that win obviously was really important for us, and hopefully, it's going to be a challenge. Duquesne's having one of their best years since I've been here, and have a good team, and seem to have a really great momentum right now. And those both places are going to be tough. It's just hard to win on the road. I think today, the home team benefited in a big way from the crowd and the emotion, the energy. So it's going to be a challenge, and hopefully we can get ourselves prepared to meet it.
Gilliard, of course, he was 5-9 from the field, hit the big three. We know that he hit the big three earlier in the season against James Madison. But what a lot of people will probably overlook is the fact that he has 6 steals and 4 assists. Tell me how that's big as far as your transition game goes, and how that transition game with his three-point shooting is very lethal for your basketball.
Yeah, the steals, it's just amazing. He probably deflected another 4 or 5 passes. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anybody be able to steal the ball so regularly. He's confident. Obviously, he should be. He's playing the whole game. He's had some huge plays for us already in his young career, and I thought he played tremendously well on Wednesday night in a game that's very difficult for a freshman point guard. And thought he played well. Thought he played really well today, and obviously really had a huge impact on the win.
He took 1 3. He only took 1 3.
Yeah.
He took it with 25 seconds left. So
yeah, how about that?
What does it take for a freshman to be able to...
I think it's just more than anything. I think his instincts are so good, and so, I don't think he's out there thinking I need to get a 3. I need to get a paint touch. I think he's just playing, and he, that last play, I think his defender looked over to see where the screen was coming from, and he crossed over, and just a huge play. So that's extremely important, extremely valuable, and those instincts. Guys who have instincts like that, like a TJ and DeMonte. That's so valuable.
How much of a weapon is Gringo for your basketball team? Being able, he was 1 of 3 from 3, but he can get on the block. He may have a major block and late in the game. How much of a weapon is he? He's great.
He's a terrific player. I think he has a chance to be one of the best players that Richmond's had. For someone that big to have that much of a sense, he's throwing good passes. He's active. He's engaged. He can make threes. He's skilled. He has a chance to be a really tremendous player.
Which 6 and 13 teams are sort of dragging around. Obviously, it's not the case with the Spiders. You speak to the confidence that this 6 and 13 team may have acquired here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, obviously that very challenging. I think the schedule was, a little bit too aggressive, and that dealt us some setbacks that are difficult for young people. And I do think that I don't necessarily know if we lost confidence altogether ever, and we worked. The best thing to develop your confidence is to go out there and work. And these guys have done a really good job. We had 2 incredible practices after the win against VCU, which was really a good sign. So hopefully we can. We just need to worry about tomorrow and Monday. We really have to do that, and hopefully we can continue to gain confidence.
Pookie Powell is a very effective player, but it looked like Quan did a pretty good job on him in the second half.
Second half, I thought we did a great job, and Quan most importantly. I think that was the first thing I said to the team afterwards was just how good of a job Quan did. And he's defending him, and then he's also dealing with a ball screen or 2 ball screens in a possession. That's really hard. And I thought he did a tremendous job defensively, and our team defense was very good. But Quan did a great job on Powell. He is a really difficult guy to guard.